It is Tuesday, January 23rd, and the Splash Zone is back in your life. I am Matt Modi with my 4 favorite NBA player props for the day. We don't have a massive NBA betting slate for tonight, but I was still able to find 4 plays that I absolutely loved. Before we can get into that, though, I do need to do a recap from yesterday, which unfortunately was not one of our days. I gave out another 4 picks. We had one get refunded as Kristaps Porzingis ended up not playing. On the 3 that actually played, I only got one of those 3 to cash. That was Victor Wembanyama over 1.5 made 3-pointers. I lost Jaden Ivey over 20.5 points. He came kind of close with 17 points. He had 11 in the first half, so I thought I was going to hit that one. Unfortunately, I did not. And then I also lost DeJounte Murray, 10-plus assists as well. He was not close. He only had 6 assists. And that was just, honestly, a bad read by me. I locked that in, and the odds skyrocketed against me as the day went on. So it's just a bad read. Unfortunately, these things happen. Which, fortunately, we've had a ton of success on the year, so that definitely doesn't happen very frequently. On the year, we are up 38.68 units with an ROI of 23.94%. ROI over 20% is absolutely absurd. I knew that after how hot we were last week, eventually the cold streak was going to come. Not that we were awful yesterday, but it's never fun to have a losing day. Would love to get back to our winning ways today with the 4 bangers that we have. If you are not already, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have been hot taking out yesterday's plays, so you definitely would be getting in on the right time. And let's get into these picks. So the first play that we're going to lock in here is in the Lakers versus Clippers game, and I'm taking DAngelo Russell under 7.5 assists, -120 odds at FanDuel. So our first play of the day is going to be our only fade play of the day. And it's also going to be our only non-plus money banger as well. And I got to say, I absolutely love this play. I was floored that the sportsbooks had his number at 7.5, even at the -120 odds. This is still a really, really good play. Now, I understand why the number is what it is. LeBron James is out. That means that's just more work for someone like D'Lo. Even with LeBron out, I still really like this play. Yes, people are going to point to the fact that in all 4 games that LeBron has missed and D'Lo played, D'Lo went over this assist number. That is 100% true. But 3 of those were incredibly easy matchups, A, against bad defenses, and B, bad defenses specifically at allowing point guard assists. We're going to get into the matchup against the Clippers a little bit later, but that's not the case here. This is not a matchup that you would want to target for point guard assists. And just look at, in general, and these are games obviously with LeBron included, but just look at D'Lo and his assist playmaking stats this year. He's only gone over this number in 3 of his last 10 games, in 4 of his last 15, and on the season, he's only cleared it in 12 of 40. He averages about 6.1 assists per game and only 9.6 potential assists per game, and that potential assist to assist ratio is really, really high, and that actually shows someone that is getting more lucky than anything to even be averaging 6.1 assists per game. If you look at all the guys that have the same or close to potential assists at 9.6 that DAngelo Russell does, none of them, not a single one, averages 6 or more assists. Everybody's in the 5 number, sometimes even the low 5s, like 5.3. For context, Scotty Barnes has 10.2, averages 10.2 potential assists per game. He averages only 5.7 real assists. DeMar DeRozan averages 10.4 potential assists per game, only 5.3 assists. And I'm not just cherry picking 2 guys out of that list. If you're to go to NBA.com, go to tracking and player passing, you would see exactly what I'm seeing. So you're probably wondering, okay, no LeBron, maybe it is still a juicy matchup as well against the Clippers, even though I mentioned it's absolutely not. On the year, the Clippers have given up the 5th fewest point guard assists per game, and in the past month, that is down to the 4th fewest point guard assists per game. Only 1 of the last 5 point guards have gone over their assist over-under against the Clippers, and that was Spencer Dinwiddie, who had 7 on an over-under of 6.5. So he still went over, but barely, and at a lower number than D'Lo's is. D'Lo has also gone under this number in all 3 games against the Clippers since he's been on the Lakers. That includes 2 games this year and 1 game last year. According to Courtside Pal, the Clippers give up the fewest assists per game to someone of DAngelo Russell's playmaking style. So even with no LeBron, I think this is a smash play fading DAngelo Russell. The reason why his assist number is so high is because of no LeBron. And I think that's a mistake. I understand why it's higher, but I don't think he's going to go over that number based on everything I said in terms of the matchup and everything like that. So hopefully he does have a poor game from an assist perspective, cashing our underplay. Next up, in the Blazers versus Thunder game, I'm taking Josh Giddy over 4.5 assists, plus 125 odds. This one's at ESPN Bet. So I will say I do like the assist plays today. For whatever reason, the points didn't stick out to me, but the assists did. Now, as for Giddy, I will admit it has not been the best season, best year for Josh Giddy. He's dealt with some, we can call it weirdness off the court that I don't really want to get into. And on the court, he's been hit or miss. But for tonight, I really, really do like backing him. I think this is a great spot to back Josh Giddy. For starters, it's a very juicy matchup against the Blazers. Courtside Pal, who I love using for all of these types of stats, they list Giddy as one of their biggest positive increases in terms of his assist number based on his projection. Based on Courtside Pal's projection and what he normally averages. He's one of their biggest positive assist projections, which makes sense because they list the Blazers as giving up the third most assists to someone of Giddy's playmaking style. Giddy is not super athletic and he's not a great shooter, but he is a smart player. He's good at kind of weaving into the defense, and he's a pretty good passer. Majority of his assists come from penetrating into the paint, driving to the basket, and then dumping it to someone off for a very high percentage look. His playmaking style relies on penetration into the paint. So if he's playing against a defense that does not allow a lot of interior penetration, sorry for the innuendo there, he's going to struggle. That's not the case against the Blazers. These two teams have played twice this year. He's gone over in both of those matchups. He had 12 last time out, and he had 5 the first time. If you date back to last year, he played the Blazers 3 times, and he went over all 3. Now, obviously, going back to last year isn't perfect. You want to put way more stock into this year. But that does mean that out of the last 5 times he's played the Blazers, he's gone over in all 5. Now, if you look at his stats recently, he's only gone over this number in 4 of his last 10 games. But 4 separate times, he had exactly 4 assists. And in 3 of those 4 games, those were very tough matchups against a team that you would not want to target his assist number against. The Magic, the Clippers, who I just talked about how good of a defense they are, and the Timberwolves, 3 of the best defenses in the NBA. That's not the case against the Blazers. So I do like backing him tonight as somewhat of a fade of recent results, backing him to have a good game, at least from an assist perspective. Next up, in the Nuggets versus Pacers game, I'm taking Jokic, 30 plus points, plus 120 odds at FanDuel. I will admit, I always feel a little bit scary backing Jokic to score when it's in the regular season because there are some games where he just doesn't even bother trying to score. He knows that his team can win without him, or he just wants to get everybody involved, or he's just bored and wants to try something different. But for tonight, I think backing him is the way to go. It's just too good of a matchup for Jokic. The Pacers are one of the worst teams in the NBA equipped to guard someone with Jokic's size and scoring ability on the inside in the paint. They just don't have the size. They don't have the bodies to bang with Jokic down low. Size mismatch between Jokic and Miles Turner or whoever's going to guard him, that's going to be monumental. Now, yeah, there is the worry that the Pacers are just going to triple team him and it ends up being an assist game for Jokic, but obviously I'm going to stick with the points. And I know people are going to tell me these two teams played about a week ago and Jokic went under. He went under both his points and his assists. That doesn't scare me off. It's just one game, and B, there's nothing schematically, there's nothing matchup-wise to suggest that the Pacers have the type of defense to slow him down. It just wasn't his night to score. In last game, the Nuggets played, Jokic had a similar matchup against the Wizards team who had no hope of guarding him on the inside, and he hung 42 points against them. Now, I'm not quite going to predict that type of output, but if he wants to, he could do the same thing against this Pacers defense. The Pacers literally give up the most points per game to someone of Jokic's shooting profile. Again, that's per Courtside Pal. So if he even tries to score a little bit, if he's even somewhat aggressive, he could get us to 30 points. I'm not going to pretend this one is without risk, but for plus 120 odds, I like backing Jokic to stay hot. It's not a fade of recent results in this one. Instead, we are backing them. But for someone like Jokic, it's not like he's a hit or miss type of player, right? It's really just how many shots is he going to put up? And I think, again, the matchup is extremely juicy. As for our last play, our fourth and final pick, we're heading back to the Lakers and Clippers game, and we're taking James Harden, 10 plus assists, plus 125 odds at ESPN Bet. So for my last play of the day, this is another smash play, in my opinion. If you're asking, pick two of your favorites, it would be the D'Lo under, and it would be this over. I've been backing Harden assists a pretty decent amount for a while now, and he's pretty much consistently come through for us. He's hit 10 plus assists in 6 of his last 10 games. 2 of the times he didn't, he had exactly 9, and the other 2 times he didn't, he had 8. So what that means is, in the past 10 games, he has not once gone below 8 assists. That type of floor just makes it such an enticing play backing him to get to 10 plus assists, especially the fact that you consider we're getting this for plus 125 odds. Looking at Harden, it's been the tale of 2 seasons. He really struggled, as did the team when he first joined the Clippers. He didn't hit 10 assists in his first 6 games. He only hit it in 2 of his first 14 and in 3 of his first 18. It's really bad. But since then, since that 3 for 18 start, he's done it in 10 of 18 games. And if you look even closer, since December 27th, and I will admit this is a cherry-picked date since his assist hot streak really started, December 27th, he's averaging 15.1 potential assists per game and 10.2 assists per game. That's the 4th most potential assists and the 2nd most actual assists. And now you got to look at the matchup against the Lakers. Very good for someone like James Harden. The Lakers are one of the worst teams in the NBA at guarding the perimeter. A lot of times that means you look at the point guard or shooting guard point props. For this one, because Harden is way more of a playmaker than he is a scorer at this point in his career, we're going with the assist. It comes as no surprise hearing that the Lakers give up the 2nd most assists per game to someone of James Harden's playmaking style, again, per Courtside Pal. Now, Harden did go under the first time he played, or the last time he played these 2 teams, which is about 2 weeks ago at this point. He had 9 assists in that game, but he had an astounding 18 potential assists. So that screams more bad luck and players just missing shots than anything. If you remember, that was a game in which the Lakers actually won, one of the rare games they've won recently, and one of the rare games the Clippers had lost. So if that same game plays out 10 times, more often than not, Harden probably averages 12 assists, 13 assists. I'm just betting on him to get to 10. I think that the higher potential is there as well. If you wanted to pump this up even higher than 10, you could. I probably won't, and I'm just for the YouTube channel purposes, for tracking purposes, going to track whether he gets to 10. But that is it. That's all we got. 4 plays for you guys to lock in. If you are not already, make sure to like the video or make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then also like the video, comment whether you like these picks, whether there are plays that you like that I did not mention at all. Appreciate everybody for watching and have a good one.